cover sports and here do basketball, we throw to a lot of pieces in their fight. It is rare you're sitting there and it's like, you know what, it's all of a sudden who's got the onions and all, because you could tell the sincerity of that moment for Stan and I through the screen. Try and put into words what that day was like being there watching that.
It was crazy because that's one that's in my hometown, Racine County, and the minimum security prison that I was at and that I served time at, it was literally 50 yards away. And mass incarceration always been dear to my heart. It's a generational curse that, you know, plagued the black and brown communities for years. And what I try to do is, you know, come back and bring resources. And we try to talk about real trauma and real issues, and we try to bring those things to light. And I was just, it was heartfelt because, you know, Giannis and the Bucks, I didn't think Giannis wasn't gonna be able to make it. I reached out to him. He was like, big bro, I'm gonna be there. And he came and he poured into the inmates, and that's something that they'll remember forever. And also it was therapeutic for them because they was able to get a lot of heavy liftings, things that was sitting heavy in their soul, you know, off their chest, and start the rehabilitation process.
The other thing is I would imagine, because I think people sometimes they deviate, hey, my life can't be like an athlete's or like a coach or something. Everybody's the same, and the fact that perspective is something we wish we carried every day, but we don't, right? MLK Day and Jackie, all these different things, any kind of Mother's Day. It's like we should be that way getting chocolates every day, but we're not. How much for even the players do you think, and having been through experiences like that, do players need to kind of remember, hey, look, there's all these stresses, but the fun of the game is where you live comparatively to kind of the way that things could be, because it's hard not to take perspective out of what we just saw.
No question. But before I get to that, I mean, we got to be proud of this guy.
Oh, God.
I know I am.
Appreciate you, Coach.
You know, and what he's gone through to get there and then go back and help. And he's been that kind of person, and proud of him. And you're right about the perspective, but I think even more so, you know, it's what was said in that piece. At the end of the day, we're just all people.
Yes.
We're just in different circumstances. And you've got to be inspired by those guys who somehow find hope and a reason to live and do things in very difficult circumstances. And then we've got these things we complain about that are meaningless in our life. And these guys can, you know, they're having fun. I don't know how they do it, quite honestly.
Yeah, I always say to my son who's 5, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And that could be for anything. If you could give for people who weren't in there, but who might need it just as much, if not more, who are watching, because everybody is in a different space, what place do you go back to when you think about the moment where that process began of, hey, look, I got to find a way to take the right turn and change things?
I think it's all about addressing your traumas and things that, you know, has hindered you and, you know, kind of forfeited your future to this point. For me, you know, I was honest with myself, and I had a real moment where I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, in order for me to really be the best possible version of me, I have to address this head on. And I did that, and I was better from that point. And what I try to do is talk to the inmates and tell them, identify the problem, address the problem, and when you come back into society, you're the best possible version of you.
Well, kudos to you for paying it forward, because no disrespect to paying it forward in basketball. We always talk about that. Paying it forward with life experience, way bigger. But they still want us to do basketball, so therefore, awkward change. And here we go. Let's talk about, I know PG not there, but remember, all those other guys who were there, they played real good defense last year.
Yeah, no,
It's weird.
On the year, their defensive numbers have been good, but they've had a couple of outlier games where they haven't been real strong. And if you don't come with it, this New Orleans team can really score. Had they made free throws tonight, New Orleans would have gotten out of there with a win.
He has been perfect in every way playing basketball, and he ripped his shirt like Hulkamania. Now he's on center court yet again. Luka, the Don. We'll talk about that in a bit. But first, always the Don. And a man of many words is Kawhi. Take a look.
Kawhi, how important is it that you guys on this 6-game road trip get off to a good start with a nice win here in New Orleans?
It's very important. You know, we want to keep building as a team and get better every day, every game. And, you know, it's important to get that win.
5th consecutive game for you with over 30 points. What does it mean to get in this kind of groove right now?
Well, I mean, it means a lot. I'm just happy that we won tonight. Doesn't matter if I score 30, 10, 20. I just want to win a basketball game.
What'd you think of your team's defense, something that Doc has been talking about a little bit?
We did better in the second half. I think we did pretty good in that fourth. I got to look at it, but, they scored 130 points. They were shooting a high percentage, so we still got a lot of work to do.
Thanks, Kawhi.
Thank you.
Well, execution sometimes in this league comes after you say lack thereof. This one of those times. But escape, either way, get out with a win. The comeback in the fourth quarter were big, and so was Levine. But, wow, that was like there's almost too many turnovers to discuss in the last 30 seconds.
Well, yeah, the Bulls couldn't inbound the ball, and then Cleveland goes to Kevin Love, and he didn't even get a shot up on the rim. Then they missed the first, Chicago misses the first free throw. I mean, it was tough. Both those coaches, that's tough when you're a coach, sitting over there on the sideline watching things like that go wrong.
We were watching the for those that we'll show you if you haven't seen the highlights yet, Hayward missed, 99 out of 100. It was like a layup with no one there. And then hit a very tough three. 10 seconds later, Stan and I were watching. I'm like, how do you coach basketball? Because this would literally, how do you survive? It makes no sense sometimes how this team played such good execution fundamentally to get back to where they were, and they almost lost it in the last 30 seconds of the game in Chicago.
Yeah, it really did. This came down to execution, and I think that the best player on the floor led the team to the quality win, and that was Zach LaVine. He did a remarkable job at leading them. And I think that he is an all-star this season, and the world need to take notice of his talents.
Hey, give him. I mean, maybe it's not how you're supposed to. You give him. I mean, it's hometown city, right? I mean, you're talking about a great environment for an all-star. You got to get a player in.
Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. And this team has played well. This is a top 10 defensive team. Jim Boylan doesn't get enough credit to take that roster, turn them into a top 10 defense. Their offense struggles in the half court, but they're in the top 10 in the league in fast break points. They shoot a lot of threes. Tonight, they gave up 73 points to the Cavaliers in the first half, but then down the stretch, they defended to get them back in the game. Defense and Zach LaVine, that's their formula right now.
Hey, good formula for the Bulls. They get the win. For the Lakers, they got a formula. It's LeBron plus AD equals good luck with all that, but they've had others. Troy Daniels. Trevian, my friend, lead 11. Close. Robin Hood. And there was some dealing. Portland also saving some cash. Bays to Sacktown. Anthony Tolliver. How about 2 second-round picks? Let me tell you something. Business about to pick up. Because this is a year where you kind of feel like, wow, everybody kind of... If you want to get into that upper, stratosphere, you might have to do something, but where are the sellers? And lots of confusion. Thankfully, Stan's here and Caron's here to fix it all. We play challenge or no challenge. If you agree with the statement, you don't challenge. If you don't agree, I want to see how you would challenge it. Thank you very much. And please, no explanation.
I've seen the players do that all the time.
Let's go out to L.A. Because Caron's here, so we try and go where the bread is buttered.
Yeah.
Challenge or no challenge, Caron, the Clippers need to be more active at the deadline than the Lakers do. No challenge.
No challenge.
Why?
I like what they have going, and because of Kawhi Leonard's load management throughout the course of the season, I think that you're not going to see the best version of them until him, PG-13, all those guys are out there together collectively. And they have a sliding lineup, as Doc Rivers would say. And I think that they love exactly what the nucleus is. They just have to continue to get those games under their belt.
So just health will be enough.
Health will be extremely
See if Coach agrees. Challenge or no challenge. Clippers got to do more than the Lakers.
No, I agree. And the thing I like where I think they have an advantage is Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. Along with the 2 stars, they've got more options than the Lakers have on the offensive end of the floor. I worry a little bit about their interior defense.
I was going to say, you sure they don't need some size?
I worry about their interior defense a little, but not as much as I worry about the Lakers finding a second shot creator.
Oh, I like that. Okay, let's create some controversy. Let's go East Side first. Challenge or no challenge, Caron, the team that's a move away from being a serious finals contender from the East is the Celtics.
Challenge.
All right, who is it? Why?
I think it's It's 76ers. When I look at
Oh.
the 76ers,
You didn't feel very confident, Stan. He didn't sound confident, but
I do. I think that they still need some outside shooting.
Yep.
I think they need to address the issue of how Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are going to coexist together out there on the court. And is Al Horford going to come off the bench? Is he going to be the feature guy off the bench, and you're going to feature him in that way? Because clearly he can play and perform at a high level offensively still.
Stan, challenge or no challenge, if there's one team in the East could become a serious finals contender with a move, it's the Celtics.
No, I'm going to go with Caron again on this.
Oh, you have to do that. Come on, man, challenge it. There you go.
Yeah,
Okay,
I got to do it again, only because I think if Philadelphia could get somebody that helped their offense, another wing type guy who could play on the move like they had in Redick last year, they're the one team I think can match up with Milwaukee size-wise and be able to make it tough on them. The other teams, even if they made a move, I think it would be difficult. I mean, look, in my mind, Milwaukee's way ahead of the pack out east right now. I don't think it's close. And so Philly's the only matchup team, but I don't really believe in them, to be honest.
All right. I didn't buy into either challenge. The replay is still being reviewed in Jersey somewhere. Let's get to challenge or no challenge. Caron, let's go West Side. The team in the West that if there's one that can make a move and become a serious final contender in the West, challenge or no challenge, that team is Denver.
No, I don't think that Denver.
No. You don't say. Excuse me. And I've seen you play. When you thought that you were. I mean, if you really had the opportunity when you played to be
I'm
able
not
to challenge,
used to it. I just make a statement. But hey, I'm going.
Come on, man. Thank you.
Come on, look at that.
Yeah, the
Look
green
at that.
light's on. The green
You
light's
got
on.
a green light on.
Put on your
I
Beats
like
by
it.
Dre and review that.
There you go. See? Fair enough. Why not? Why not Denver?
I still think that they're still missing some things. When you look at Murray, when you look at Joker, I don't think a huge piece can be acquired to help them get over the hump.
Is there another team in the West that you think would get to the status of the two LA teams if they had that move?
You know what? I look at Utah and I really love what they do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think Utah is a complete basketball team. And if they're able to get another piece, which I don't think they will, but if they're able to, they can be a force to be reckoned with.
All right, Stan, challenge or no challenge. If there's a team in the West could get to that LA stratosphere with a move, that team's Denver.
I would challenge that.
And that's exactly how he did it with refs too.
I would challenge that. But let me first say I don't think anybody can get there to those two teams. I think the West is going to come down to those two teams. I think they're the two best offensive teams in the conference. I think they're the two best defensive teams in the conference. Even though Dallas is the number one offense right now, I think when we hit the playoffs, those two teams have all the answers.
Well, this is a good follow then because we got time for one more, a bonus round. I'll start with you then, Coach. Challenge or no challenge, no matter what moves anyone makes or whatever happened in this segment, no one's beating the Lakers anyway.
Oh, I'll challenge that.
Oh, okay.
I'll challenge that.
Yes.
No, I'll challenge that. I think the Clippers and Lakers, I would have a hard time making a call between them right now, but they're certainly going to challenge the Lakers, and Milwaukee obviously can challenge anybody.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, to me, I'm not putting the Lakers ahead of those two teams. I'm putting those three teams in one group ahead of everybody else.
Way to keep the